Nawab Khan from the Kuwait News Agency. Mr. Secretary General, on your new mission, are you going to have cooperation with the neighboring countries of Afghanistan, such as India, Pakistan, Iran? And my second question is, in your meeting with the Russian Defence Minister today, was the issue of Iran's nuclear program raised? Thank you.
First, on Afghanistan, obviously, we have a dialogue, in particular with Pakistan, about the regional situation. We have made clear right from the outset that if we are to ensure long-term peace and stability, not only in Afghanistan but in the region, we also need a positive engagement of Pakistan. But I think all countries in the region can play a constructive role in ensuring such peace and stability. And let me remind you that the UN Security Council resolution that provides the basis for our presence in Afghanistan also calls on all countries in the region to contribute to peace and stability. So it's actually an obligation for all actors to do what they can to provide such peace and stability. Sorry. No, we didn't discuss Iran at today's meeting.
Turkish News Agency here.
Yes, Secretary General. After your comments on the concerns of the integration of missiles that Turkey is willing to get from China yesterday, this morning the Turkish Prime Minister said that, quote, if NATO is sensitive about the integration issues, first they have to focus on the Russian missiles and systems that some of the NATO allies already have and which are not even yet in the inventory, listed as in inventory. What would your reaction to that will be? Thank you very much.
I can just repeat what I said already this morning. Firstly, that it is a national decision which military equipment a nation wants to acquire. It is and it remains a national decision. Secondly, seen from an alliance perspective, it is, of course, of utmost importance that military equipment in one allied nation can operate, work, communicate together with equipment in other allied nations, because that's the essence of being an alliance, that we can actually work and operate together. That goes for all kinds of military equipment, and I feel confident that all allies are very much aware of this position.
Japanese media in the back.
Sorry, I go back to Afghan issue. Did you discuss security agreement issue, including Roya Jirga next month?
Yes, obviously, this issue has been a very important topic. We welcome the progress we have seen in negotiations between the United States and Afghanistan on a bilateral security agreement. However, we are also aware of the fact that these deliberations have not yet been finally concluded, and we are aware of the Afghan political process, which includes a Roya Jirga, and I suppose also a parliamentary procedure. So while we welcome the progress we have seen, we are also aware of the fact that the process has not been concluded successfully yet. Having said that, I'm confident that a bilateral security agreement will be concluded, will be approved, and then followed by a NATO status of forces agreement, which is a prerequisite for our deployment of troops and trainers to Afghanistan after 2014.
One last question over there, Le Soir.
Philippe Renier, Journal Le Soir. Mr. Secretary General, could you give us a sense on what the key elements identified by the military command for the next mission will be, please? Thank you.
I suppose you're thinking about the progress in the planning we have approved as of today. Yeah, I can tell you first of all that our planning is on track. We make steady progress. Today we have made important decisions on the mission goal, the capability needed, training concepts, command and control arrangements, just to mention some important elements that need to be in place before we can deploy a training mission to Afghanistan. But of course, we can't finalize our preparations until we have finalized negotiations on the legal framework, the status of forces agreement. But still, we are making steady progress. So if we are invited to establish a training mission after 2014, and provided the sound legal basis is in place, we will be ready to deploy such a training mission from the 1st of January 2015. But as I mentioned, there are still some elements on which we need final agreement.
Many thanks. I wish you a good afternoon.